Welcome back to another video of our Mediterranean cruise on the Norwegian Epic. In this video, we'll enjoy a sea day and check out all of the amazing things to do on board. We'll also pull into the port of Palma on the island of Mallorca. Alright, so we got back from Pompeii, and to be honest, we just kind of wanted to get dinner and then hang out on the ship. So we're going to give you a recap right now. It's the next day, which is actually a sea day. So this morning we slept in and got some breakfast, and now we're here. So I don't know what you thought. I thought Pompeii was so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's huge. It's way bigger than you would think it was. I mean, it was a city at the time, so.
Yeah. One thing is, it's like 35 minutes away from the Naples main train station, probably about an hour away from the port. So keep that in mind if you're planning on going there on your own. But it's not in Naples, so all the cruise ships go to Naples, and then you usually have to do an excursion or find your own way to Pompeii. It's actually a little chilly out here.
Yeah.
I mean, it still feels really nice, but for this part of the world, it's a little bit chilly. Yeah, we wish it was a little bit sunnier, but, you know, what can you do? On a lot of cruises, you'll find yourself having these sea days. These are days where the ship is in transit between ports and you don't really dock anywhere. We love these days because it gives us time to get acquainted with the ship without feeling like we're missing experiences in port. You can explore everything that the ship has to offer on these days. We made our way down to the lower level of the main atrium, which spans 2 decks. The atrium on this ship has a customer service and shore excursion desk down here, as well as a Starbucks coffee. There's also this huge screen where they screen movies, do trivia, and many other things. Today we were getting a much needed caffeine hit down here. On the upper level of the atrium, you'll find O'Sheehan's Bar and Grill, an Irish-style restaurant that gives you an old pub feel, as well as some great comfort foods like fish and chips and burgers. Today, there were plenty of activities happening in the atrium, including this bachata dance class. Later in the day, they also hosted Deal or No Deal in the atrium. This game is based on Howie Mandel's Deal or No Deal game show that you might have seen on TV. In NCL's version, you buy yourself a ticket, and depending on the numbers that are chosen, you can win prizes, and even a free cruise. We've done this game on all of our NCL cruises, and it's a really fun time. On the Epic, we actually won $200 as members of the audience. Not too bad. There's also bingo offered in the Epic Theater on sea days, so we did that. For bingo and Deal or No Deal, you do have to pay extra. Walking through the ship, we also took a look at the casino today. On NCL ships, the casinos tend to be a bit larger than on European cruise lines. This casino was massive, and took up nearly a third of Deck 6. Like other cruise lines, the casino is open whenever you're away from port and in international waters. Also on Deck 6 is the Cavern Club, a pub-style venue that hosts several shows. This is actually where the ship's Beatles cover band plays shows nearly every night. It was nearly lunchtime, so we headed up to the Garden Cafe, the buffet restaurant on this ship. The food here is decent, and the cafe is open throughout the day for meals. There's also an outdoor section of the buffet called the Great Outdoors. There are tons of bars on board this ship, and we made sure to try some amazing drinks that were included in our free at sea package, one of the all-inclusive options that guests can choose. We'll talk more about free at sea later. As the evening drew closer, we decided to take part in something that you don't find on too many ships, an ice bar. The ice bar has furniture and tables made of ice, and you can even drink out of ice glasses. It was so cold that they had to provide us with thermal blankets and gloves, but it was a great time.
Did we just come out of the ice bar, Kevin?
No. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Got a few drinks, and it was only $15. $15.
Yeah.
So, yeah. After that, we checked out the Bliss Lounge, a nightclub-style lounge that hosts karaoke and bands in the evenings. It was a fun little lounge to go to, just to have a cocktail and listen to some great music. That evening, we were looking forward to going to the Howl at the Moon dueling piano show. Howl at the Moon is something that we've been to on land as well. It's based throughout the US. This show took place in Headliners Comedy Club, and it was an absolute treat. The show lasted for nearly 4 hours, which is just insane, but it was so much fun. Of course, you don't have to stay here for the full 4 hours. People were filtering in and out throughout the night. After that action-packed day, we had to head upstairs to get some shut-eye before enjoying the beautiful Spanish island of Mallorca the next day. We awoke to another beautiful sunny Mediterranean day as we were pulling into the port at Palma. So now we are in Palma de Mallorca, which is a Spanish island in the Balearic Islands, and we're about to go explore the town for a few hours. We don't have any excursions booked. Don't know if you can hear it, but unfortunately we're docked next to probably the noisiest ferry in Spain. But yeah, we really don't have any set plans for Mallorca, so we're just going to take the shuttle bus into town and see what we can see. We headed up to the Garden Cafe for breakfast. We've been up here for breakfast before, and there's several options you can choose from. We even found some mimosas that were being served, though they were a bit punchy. How's the mimosa?
It's good. It's very heavy on the champagne, though.
Yeah, very punchy.
I'm not complaining.
Mimosas taken care of, we headed outside to the shuttle buses. We could purchase the shuttle bus ticket on board before arriving in Mallorca. They were $10 a piece. This $10 gave us round-trip transportation into the city, which we thought was a decent deal since the port was quite a ways away. We pulled right up to the parking lot near the Mallorca Cathedral, and the old Arabian fort turned royal palace. We walked around the grounds of the royal palace in awe of the ancient Arabic architecture that we saw here. The gardens and little ponds were just beautiful. We moved over to the Palma Cathedral, which is a Gothic cathedral built on the grounds of an old mosque starting in 1229. The Palma Cathedral actually still has the 8th highest nave in the world, making it somewhat of a landmark. Unfortunately, it was Sunday, so we weren't allowed to enter the church. We headed through the narrow streets of the medieval city, taking in the views left and right. This really is a beautiful part of Palma, and it was by far the oldest part of town. We eventually burst out into the Plaza Mayor, one of the main squares of the city. Here you'll find outdoor craft markets and plenty of shops. We had to get some authentic Spanish coffee.
Yeah, it had to be done.
Yeah, the cruise ship for some reason was out of coffee when we were there, which was not good for Kevin. So what do we think of Mallorca?
I really like it.
Yeah.
Really, really pretty.
It's very
clean.
small. It is clean.
Yeah.
Little medieval passageways.
Yeah.
I think it reminds us a lot of like Seville and Malaga and those other Spanish cities. We headed further, wanting to do a little bit of shopping. In this part of town, there's no shortage of shops and restaurants. We also found our way into a couple of ancient churches, built in the 12th and 13th centuries. It's amazing that these places managed to stay in such good shape over the years. After walking around a bit more, we decided it was a good time to stop for a quick drink at one of the local restaurants. We made sure to get some good Spanish beer before continuing, although our time at this restaurant was soon cut short by the incessant ringing of the bells. Again, it was Sunday. We really enjoyed visiting the city of Palma. We were not in this port for too long, so we couldn't really explore too much of the island, but if we ever went back to Mallorca, we'd probably want to go to some beaches around here as well. We were looking forward to our beach day in Ibiza tomorrow. We found our way back to the shuttle bus spot, and were on the ship before we knew it. We even found a little treat waiting for us in our room when we arrived. So as part of our suite, we do get little treats twice per cruise, I believe. Maybe 3 times for the cruise. Yeah, and it's a nice little cookie and some licorice and a strawberry, and I may have already eaten a couple of chocolates because I was hungry. But yeah, it's just a nice little treat that we get for booking this room. Tonight we were going to Cagney Steakhouse, one of the extra pay speciality restaurants on board. We've been to Cagney's on every NCL ship we've been on. We went to Cagney's Steakhouse tonight for dinner, so that's one of the specialty restaurants on board. Like we said, it's a steakhouse. I mean, if you're used to steakhouses where you get your one main dish and then a couple of sides you order with that, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. And so we weren't quite sure what to expect. We had Cagney's when we were on the Norwegian Gem. We have to say it was really good. Mm-hmm. It was delicious. We both got the filet, which was cooked. Mine was cooked to perfection.
Mine too.
And so we actually did this with our dining plan. So our dining plan gave us 2 specialty restaurant passes, essentially. And so with that at Cagney's, you get an appetizer, a super salad, the main course with 2 sides, and dessert. That's all included for each person. Mm-hmm. And it is a lot of food. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was really good. One thing we do have to say, though, we noticed that the portion size was a bit smaller for the sides here on the Epic than it was on the Gem. I mean, the food was still great, and we still left there. I mean, you basically had to roll us out of there. We were so full. So it was great. So yeah, overall, we had a good time. Pretty soon our ship was ready to leave, but there were quite a few stragglers at this port for some reason. Don't be like these people running back to the ship with only minutes to spare. After all, the ship will leave without you. The next morning, we woke up to another beautiful and warm day on the Spanish island of Ibiza. We did have an excursion planned for this day, so we had to wake up a bit earlier than we wanted to. It's pretty early.
It is a little early, yeah.
Yeah, you ready for a day in Ibiza?
I am excited. It's a beach day for us.
Yeah, we're going to the beach.
Yeah, so we're going to go get breakfast beforehand. We decided to go to the sit-down restaurant. Hopefully they have room for us.
Yeah, at Taste. One of the main dining rooms. So here we go.
Yeah.
We made our way down to Taste. We love this restaurant. It's one of the main dining rooms on board, and it's right in the middle of the ship. There's even this huge chandelier that hangs down through 3 decks. It just adds to the ambiance of this room. We both got the pancakes. Mm-hmm. So see how these turn out.
Yeah.
I also got a little yogurt parfait to stay on the healthy side of things. But soon our pancakes, bacon, and toast arrived. How was it?
It was good.
Yeah, very good. You can always get breakfast at both main dining rooms, Taste in the Manhattan Room, as well as O'Sheehan's Bar and Grill. We enjoy these venues in the morning because we usually don't like dealing with the chaos that you find at the buffet. From this breakfast, we headed down to the shuttle that would take us over to the beaches of Ibiza. It was an absolutely gorgeous day out here. We found some chairs to purchase so that we could take in the rays and enjoy the ocean views. At the beach, got our drinks. Good stuff. It's beautiful out here.
Yeah, great.
Now, it looks like we had a wonderful day, but we do have to say that this excursion could have been much better. We paid $50 for the excursion itself. However, we soon learned that the only thing included was the transfer to the beach. we were a bit surprised because on an earlier cruise we booked a similar beach day in Corfu. In that cruise, everything was included in the $50 excursion price. The transfer to the beach, the chairs, the umbrellas, the towels, and even a free drink for each of us. Here, all we got was a transfer. Not only that, but the bus dropped us off at one of the most expensive areas of the beach where they charged nearly $100 per chair. We had to walk about a mile down the beach before we found some much more affordable, although still super expensive, $50 chairs. After this Ibiza beach experience, the cruise line changing the time of our Naples excursion earlier on this cruise, and our excursion in Monaco getting canceled later in the cruise, we really cannot give good marks to NCL for their excursions. Eventually, we had to head back to the bus and get back on the ship. After all, we had some pretty good plans for dinner and a show that evening. For dinner, we went to the Teppanyaki restaurant, which is an extra pay restaurant here on board. And we went with our meal plans, but if you don't have a dining plan that gives you access to Teppanyaki, it's $59 per person, just a flat charge. And with that, you get a soup and a salad, although they were both pretty small, as well as an entree, which is chicken, beef, vegetables with noodles, or a combination of all those, as well as seafood, and then a dessert. And it was really fun. Our chef was really entertaining, and he was singing a lot, and it was just a lot of fun, a really good atmosphere. Once again, we used our Free at Sea package to get this deal. So what is Free at Sea? Free at Sea is a promotional deal that NCL offers on nearly every cruise, where you pay a modest amount to get free things. For this cruise, it came out to about an extra $250 total for Catherine and I to get free internet time, $50 off a shore excursion at each port, a free drinks package, and 2 free speciality dining experiences. It's always been worth it for us to take part in this deal. If you're booking online, there's always an option that you can select for the Free at Sea package. If you book via the phone, make sure you ask for it. Anyway, here's more about our night on the cruise. And then after dinner, we went to see a vocalist group. It was a quartet of female vocalists called Voce, and they were really good. They did sort of a classical crossover, so we heard some classical arias along with a few modern hits. And the show was only about 45 minutes to an hour long, so it was a really nice way to kind of end the evening. So yeah, so far all the entertainment on board has been really good. So that pretty much wraps up part 2 of our Mediterranean cruise on the Norwegian Epic. If you haven't seen it already, make sure you check out part 1 of this cruise where we tell you more about the ship, and check out Naples and Pompeii in Italy. Also, stay tuned to our channel for part 3, where we head to Barcelona and enjoy some time in southern France. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.